Hello friends, welcome. My name is Prasanna Jangam. Today I'm going to be speaking on a very important topic, and today's topic is content helps you pass your exams. Usually when we think of exams preparation and reading, we think people get distracted and not able to concentrate on their exam preparations, and they get to fail their exams. But the thing is, it is not distractions, but it is fear that actually stops students from reading before their exams. Almost every student might have experienced this, including myself, that in just 1 year or in just 3-4 months, the student doesn't get too intellectual than he was 3-4 months ago. But for example, if a student passes his 9th standard and gets to 10th standard, while he was in his 9th standard books and the exam material feels so hard and so heavy on his head, and right after he gets through his class, and when he gets into the senior class, right after a few months, and now he goes back to his previous classes books, and those problems, those chapters, those books and those materials feel so easy to read, it feels so light. And in reality, that's what they just are. That's what they have always been. That's what those materials' weight has always been. When a student who scores like at 70 to 75% and below, whenever he sits down to read something, prepare for his exams, fear hits and attacks students in different ways. Like something out there is missing. Let's say, so when someone goes out and passes, spends time, chilling and having good time, doing not something productive, and just passing time, he doesn't feel anything. And when he sits down, the student feels like it's a lie that the brain tells human beings, students, that something important and something that is so precious part of their life is happening outside, and it's been taken away from him or her, and he's not a part of it, and he's out here and abandoned and completely deserted by himself alone or by herself alone in a separate world, where he has to take on this whole burdensome thing, and it's not going to be easy. For the next hardly for the next 1-2 hours of reading is going to sound like and feel like years of time in the spending and years of hard labor. But in reality, things even for example, if someone and I have experienced it myself, checked it myself, also experienced it myself, and I've gone out, probably set aside my books and I've gone to my friends and probably meet my friends, or go to the place where usually the friends meet, and go, and it's normal like yesterday, normal like any other day. There's no special happening out there, there's no exciting thing happening out there. It's just in the head, it's just in the brain, it's just a body not accepting to put in some work, body not accepting to allow the body to get to spend energy, concentrated energy in some way. And those 2 hours of reading is replaced there, and those 2 hours of spending outside, probably if they are college students, probably go out for a smoke and probably speak on few things, probably about sports, probably about him and her, things like those, and that's it. Probably spend some money in a shop for soft drinks, for cigarettes. Empty chatters, mostly unproductive empty chatter, sometimes mostly unproductive things, and that's it. They're done and they come back, they feel like when they are there, it's not something that's refreshing that's happening outside, but it's the work that they have escaped that makes them feel good at the time. Not necessarily super high feels, but at least I've escaped 2-3 hours of study. And when that happens, and after that, and the guy returns home, the instant is the regret is instant, the guilt is instantly while on his way back, even while he's spending some time outside, at least during the exams time. he feels bad, and when he comes home there's nothing but regret. He feels like 2 hours of time has been wasted, has been gone, and something that's so precious, a part of their life, and this thing is real, that they have missed, that they have lost. The first feeling that they're missing out on something that is precious out there is a lie, and the actual real precious thing or valuable thing that can happen to them, they have missed it and they have squandered it, wasted it outside. But the thing is, 2-3 hours doesn't mean much if someone really can process what's happening, and really can tell himself or herself that at least I need to spend 2-3 hours a month prior to exams, at least 10 days before the exam, at least I need to hit 10 hours a day, and then at least people will be able to score 50% of marks if one is not too studious or not too ambitious to score 90%, 95%. But when a student, this is also almost exponential, experiential to almost every person. For example, if for 2-3 hours he has concentrated 2-3 hours of on reading, studying, and then he goes out to meet his friends. Most of the people he meets, most of the friends he meets, they do not study, and they come there and he feels a chilling feeling that he has accomplished something that makes him feel so good, and so placed on top of every other person that he knows who's not going to read, because he has done something for himself, and that gives more time to students to feel their life more. And the spending and the refreshing time is a privilege that they have earned, and they are like enjoying it, they are feeling it, they are living in it. That's a student life. That's a job of a student. If we can do that, every other thing in college life is easy, and like that is a thrilling experience nonetheless. But when someone's a student and he misses out on that time, reading time, or if someone's a regular reader, at least half an hour, 1 hour a day, some subject, be it any subject, he reads something, goes through his study material. College time is a gift to such a student, is a thrilling experience to such a student, and all it takes is not much. While on the other hand, people are like going out, chilling out, thinking it's gonna refresh their brains, it's only draining them, regret is filled, and that has its own weight. People look old in their college days. It's only even in their college days, people look older than their age, just because they were afraid that reading is burdensome, and something out there which is an interesting thing, which is a thrilling thing, or important aspect of their life that is happening out there, and they are missing out on that thing. Now that's a lie. The opposite is real truth and reality. So however, how will one be able, even if someone knows it, how will one be able to concentrate and put their body through that pain or struggle for 2-3 hours a day, or before the exam times 10 hours a day, at least 10-20 days, at least 2 weeks before the exams, 10 hours a day. So how do one get there? Content is what helps people read as much as their body allows them. Actually, if a student is willing, he can actually read for 40 hours, 50 hours in a single stretch, with taking some minimum breaks for using washrooms and using or having some food or snacks. If a student is really hard-willed, strong-willed, he can even go for 3-4 days just reading. The thing is, he needs to get rid of what holds him, the fears out there, all the distractions that are stemmed from the fear of reading, that he needs to concentrate his energy on one thing. So content, when someone's like highest content rate in India is 3%. For example, what is content rate? If you want to know what content rate is, watch. You have those videos on my channel. You have that video on my channel, in my channel. 3% content rate means, for example, if how far and how deep and how heavy a person knows, and how heavy one can get when he speaks or writes, when he speaks on a singular topic. So everyone can reason to an extent, educated and non-educated, 3-4 sentences, 5-6 sentences, using the information, using the research information, mainly information from Google. So that is something that everyone can do. So that doesn't count for content. So after 5-6 sentences on a singular topic is where content rate begins, and from there, as one goes forward, he should be building on the previous sentences, and he should be speaking on a singular topic. And as he goes forward building on the sentences, sentences should get heavy as one goes forward building on the previous sentences, and should be the continuation of the same topic. At least 30 sentences in a 40-minute video. At least 30-40 sentences in a 40-minute video counts as a content thing, a content video. So 30% content requires at least 15,000 hours, like 5-6 years of continuous studying, concentrated studying and reading and meditating, 8 to 9 hours a day at least. And then one becomes a one has a possibility to become a content teacher or preacher or speaker. So obviously people do not have that time to and the resources. Almost a lot of people do not have the time and resources to be able to get to that level and solitude themselves, set themselves aside from everything and concentrate on one thing, one discipline. But unless it's not content, it's not going to help anyone. And as far as my channels are concerned, I've picked a discipline. My channels contain at least 95% of content rate, which is like, for example, if I speak for 50 minutes, at least 45-47 minutes of it is explanation only. I'll be speaking on a singular topic, and everything I speak is built on the previous sentence, and the sentence further is heavier than the previous one. At least I'll be pitching in at 70-80 sentences in a single video, in a 40-minute length video. So when that happens, so thick and concentrated things is heard by people, by students. They know and understand. Obviously everyone knows what content is. When heavy content is spoken, people understand what it what it means. It makes sense to people, but at the same time it's not something that but they'll not be able to build sentences like it, or sentences like them on their own. That's what content is. And when that happens, they understand that a lot of life or a lot of content and work has been done in so little time. 40 minutes of video contains 95% thickness of content, which means lifetime work is spoken on a singular topic. We know what is what now. On that topic, there's not much we can to learn about that topic unless we want to get further than that. So the study thickness, the study materials thickness, hardly 2-3 education related things are not reasoning and logic related things. They are mostly education related things. College level things are information things, mostly information, probably 1%, 2% content thickness. Content is what really makes people afraid to dive into things and study actually. So when heavier than those, when things heavier than those, hardly 3-4%, hardly 2-3% heaviness. When things heavier than those, you get to hear, and just like I've explained, just like I've said earlier, 10th class student feels the same books he have studied a few months ago very light. So that's what he's going to feel his books like, his material like, during his exams time, during his preparation time. If he is privileged to listen, if he's lucky enough, if he's privileged enough to listen to a content preacher. So when a subscriber of mine listens to my content, the fear that I've spoken about is actually caused by the brain work that is required. Brain repels or content actually content is repulsive in reaction. When someone looks at a heavy thing, the brain doesn't want to get into that. It's so scary. It hurts heads. So that is what causes fear. A heaviness of a material causes fear. When something that is heavier than that is listened to, and now my subscribers do not listen to to what I speak as their requirement, or this is somewhere I will be evaluating on. It is counting to them as a helpful resource and info, and they get to watch it and listen to them whenever they want to. So it's not their obligation, but it's something that will help their life, help them build their lives in a better way. Even to a lot of people, if they are my subscribers, listen to my content. Listening to just my content will help them build their lives, which will they will not be able to build on their own selves better than what they can do for themselves. But obviously they need to be putting work for things, but at the same time, just like we learn from our teachers or the professors, likewise you get to watch and listen to things heavier than the content rate that students study. So that completely eliminates fear, and concentration is not concentration. The fear is gone, so the concentration is not stranded or scattered 100 different ways. So he knows what to do, and whatever he needs to study, he will be able to study because he's not afraid of it. It doesn't hurt his head. So all he needs to do now is set some time aside before some exams, probably study, read 7-8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, 10-20 days before the exams, and that's it. He should be able to score 60% of their 60%, at least 50%. If he's a decent student, easy 60%. That should be good to a student who wants to get past 40%, 50% marks. That's a lot. And if someone's and now it's just his bodily strength, it's not his brain strength or brain weight or fear that he has to encounter. It's just a workout thing. For example, read for 2 hours, take some rest. If you look at people working out in the gyms, if you know what I'm talking about, you know that people know that they'll be working out, stressing hard, working hard, putting weights on their body, lifting them, and then take some rest and then go at it again. This is what happens to students when they get to hear content speaker like me. So that's how you will pass your exams. That's how content helps you pass your exams. Even an average student should be able to score 45% of marks if he prepares decently. If he's listening to my content regularly, he should be able to pass his exams, because I pitch in at 95% content thickness, the highest thickness the books contain today. Books are filled with information, but the reasoning that is behind it. For example, you might have heard from people saying, I've heard someone testify that their mother has said to her, one of her daughters, I think, that daughter, you need to, you know what Pythagorean theorem is, learn the theorem and use the logic that is in it and apply it to everything in your life. So every problem or chapters like progressions, calculus, things like those they are just not numbers or formulas. Using problems using formulas are not just numbers and or letters, but there is some kind of thickness, logical reasoning thickness behind those. So that is what strains the brain, and that is hardly 3% in India. Even you go to IIT students, their books, they're filled with information, but they're not like heavy on content and logical reasoning. Hardly, if that level of a content, if an IIT, for example, speaks on a singular topic, you check an IIT speak on a singular topic, hardly he'll be pitching on, or she will be pitching in with 3, 4, 5, 6 basic line sentences, or 2, 3 own sentences, and that is past the basic lines. That's not going to count, at least as a contented preacher, a contented speaker. That's like 30% needs at least 30 to 40 sentences to be counted as a minimum content speaker, content creator. So when you listen to my content, your exams, your study material or your books will feel so light. and all that needed to be done for the student who's a subscriber of mine, who's preparing for exams, is just spend some bodily energy now, which is actually thrilling now, which feels so good. Read for 4-5 hours, 2-3 hours, take a break, and then it's like your life is reloaded, your life is loaded in content, and it is available for you to access and go out there and take it and live their life, and that way they secure their lives, their careers, score good marks, get good seats, get seats in good colleges. Then their parents are happy, their parents are proud, their colleges, the schools are happy. It's all good with content, and content this way helps students pass their exams. So friends, I hope you have learned something new today. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, or if you are new here, make sure you subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon to get notified whenever I post a new thing. And please like and share my video so that people can learn heavy understanding content through you, the people that are in your circles, and also students that can be helped pass their exams. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you next time.